What's happening? If you here, you probably already know who I am. This is the first episode of my podcast, the Dim Lens Podcast. My name is Christian, and that's not a coincidence. So I just want to start by saying all praise and honor and glory due to the Most High, who sent his son to rescue me and lead me into all knowledge and all truth. The one and only spirit of truth, you know what I mean? And so that's what we're going to talk about here. That's what we about here is truth, is knowledge, is wisdom, joy, happiness, peace, love, gentleness, self-control, all the good things, man. But today we starting off with an episode, the first episode where I actually interview someone. I wouldn't call it an interview. It's kind of a side-by-side podcast thing. Normally this will be a solo podcast. I'll just be sit here kind of sharing my thoughts, talking. But this one I had to do first with the homie Jesus, who, if you don't know, let me just say he's my best friend in the world. This is someone I met, and I literally told him, like, we're gonna be friends. When I hardly knew the man, and he thought I was weird, but I felt it. I had a feeling. I was like, nah, we're gonna be friends, and we went on to be the best friends in the world. And so in this podcast, we talk about a couple of things. You know what I mean? Why a podcast? Like, why do I feel the need to start a podcast? And I think I'm interested in a variety of topics, a lot of them quite heavy, quite serious, things that I reminisce and ponder about that I wonder if other people are thinking about. And so, things like politics and obviously religion and faith, things like philosophy and science, specifically neurochemistry and the brain and just how it relates to spirituality and life. And I could go on forever about all the topics, but these are all things that I kind of grew up with, that thinker and that philosopher bend, right? Like, I was the kid that would always ask why. And then, eventually when I realized that was annoying and no one likes that kid, I would not ask anymore, but continue to ponder, try and find out on my own. And so that's essentially what this is about. It's an opportunity to give vent to that attitude and that way of thinking. Also, I love people, you know what I mean? And so eventually, as I started to see things, notice things, grow up a little bit, I just kind of decided that I want to share some of the things I think and think about with other people. And so that's essentially what this is, an opportunity to do. It's little more than a glorified video journal, a glorified notebook that's public to share with people. So I hope y'all enjoy. This isn't the first podcast I've done. So the gentleman that you're about to see me talk to was my first ever co-host a few years back. I think we did a short test run where we wanted to see if we liked it or not. We filmed 10 episodes of a podcast called the Park and Talk Podcast. So this was a beautiful full circle moment where we got to meet up in the same parking lot where we first filmed the Park and Talk podcast and kind of talk a little more, chat a little more. And it turned out to be a beautiful thing. We talked about, again, why even film yourself talking. What are some of the risks that come with filming yourself talking? What does it take to have a good conversation? What makes a good conversation, both in front of a camera and just with a friend? What is a good conversation versus a bad conversation? And one of the most important things I think we talked about that will be answered here is, do people need another podcast? Do people really need more information, more data to wash over their brain when there's already so much going on in the world, so much going on the internet? The internet feels crowded. Like, do we need another voice, right? And what will that look like for me to just drift my thoughts into the ether and submit them for criticism, submit them to be made fun of, to be mocked, to be disagree with, or whatever that might entail. So it's about, I want to say it's about 30 minutes. We just chat real quick. It's so low I don't want to say low effort. It's not low effort, but it's low production value. It's no frills. It's raw. Because I think this video journal for now, the point is not attention, or the point is not ears or clicks. The point is just consistency. The point is practice. The point is venting, speaking my mind about what I feel is important, what I believe the Bible says is important, what God has to say about the things that we're watching and observing, what his opinion might be based on the scripture, things like that. But in this first episode, it's very impromptu, very chill. Talk with my best friend, Jesus, whose birthday it is today. So shout out to this man who's an inspiration, a loyal friend, and one of my biggest inspirations to share my thoughts this way. So I hope you enjoy my chat with Jesus. And before we get into that, man, if you like the hat, check it out. It's from a brand called Tropic CA. That's Tropic Central America, man. Made and designed by Belizeans. Shout out my cousin Orlando, man. This ain't a sponsorship or nothing like that. It's just literally my favorite hat right now. Mad good quality. Doesn't change color, man. It doesn't, can't sweat through it, man. It's pretty durable, man. It's good stuff right there. High quality. So check out the sweaters. Same thing, man. Dense, thick, heavy fabric. So check out Tropics if y'all are interested in that. It's, not too long before it starts getting real chilly. But yeah, we were talking a little bit about the first time we initially started talking into a camera and like the circumstances around that. Do you remember a lot of what was going on at that time?
It was COVID, man. It was a different time to be alive, and it was weird because like you just felt like you couldn't do anything, and then we wanted to feel like we could do something, and I just came to you with the thought like, hey man, we can do a podcast. And I came up with a name for it. Just wanted to see what you would think. And then you're like, bro, I would love that. Started raining, by the way.
I know, I'm about to say, that's it's certainly gonna show up in the
audio.
audio.
You're gonna hear it too.
We're just gonna have to talk probably kind of loud.
Yeah, so the podcast came about with just a quick idea. Where it came from is that we just talked in the car, right? And we loved talking we loved talking in the car, just about life in general. We did it so much that I was like, since I talk to you all the time anyways, let's just do it, but record it.
And this was low-key before podcasting was a wave like that. Like before every single person had a podcast.
True.
Like it was picking up steam, but
yeah. But then at that point, there was this thing that people would say, like, everybody and their mom has a podcast now. But you know what? Compared to today, now everyone and their mom has a podcast. Everyone does. And so, but I heard people say it like, you know, anyone can talk to each other. Not everybody can sing though. Anyone can talk. You already know where my mind goes. I know.
See, but you know, this brought up, this is a major thing back then, because you said something about when you're talking about making a podcast, that during COVID time, we felt like we couldn't do anything. But also in some ways, it felt like you couldn't say anything.
Yep.
Because we felt like, I know you had major pushback against the vaccine, but there was this sense that like you're going to be ostracized, you're going to be called an anti-vaxxer and an idiot if you don't go along with this.
Well, the biggest thing was just that I was going to lose my job if I didn't get vaccinated, right? And that just felt so weird, and I've never felt like something so core to my life was just going to be taken away from me because I was just confused, and I just didn't know what the implications were. I just didn't know what was going to happen, you know? And I don't think anyone really knew, but because we were so, we just wanted to go back to normal so bad, everybody was like, yo, like, let's just do it, right?
Yeah.
So that, it was just dude, if you really can take yourself back, it was such a weird,
Very weird.
just not a fun time for me for the beginning of that time.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at clips now, and it's people like, if you didn't get vaxxed and you have to go to the hospital, you should die outside, and they should let someone who's vaxxed have your spot. Like, they were saying stuff like that on the news, you know what I mean? So it felt weird to be the voice on the opposite side of that. So
Yeah.
on one hand, back then, you know, you said that inside joke, I started to laugh, but it's like, that even makes me wonder, like, even with wanting to have a podcast now, how vulnerable can you be? Like, what inside jokes can you say and not get canceled?
Yeah.
Like, all of that stuff comes to mind. So is there a specific reason why you would not want to have a podcast these days?
I don't know. I mean, putting your opinions out there, like, let's just say it gets even a little bit of traction, and then people who think that they know a certain side of you, but they see you talk about anything a certain way and they think the opposite. I do have this feeling where you can lose friendships, but I also think if friendships are that fragile, they're not meant to be. But it does, coming from a person who's lost a lot of friendships, and it's just inevitable, everyone's gonna lose friends. I don't like it. It hurts a lot. I don't want to do it. But if, again, just going back, if a podcast I do and I say something that you don't agree with ruins our friendship,
The friendship was fragile.
it was fragile. It sucks, man. So
yeah.
that's the only thing that I'm scared of.
No, I think that's exactly right. I think, and the thing is too, though, is you and I, one of the things that made that even a possibility is that we could have nuanced conversations where we could get into the details and really comb through a thought
Yeah.
and like find out what we really think about it. I think it's like, on one hand, it is easy to say like, well, if you're, you know, if it's that fragile, it doesn't matter. But at the same time, it's like, there are certain people I don't feel like I can comb through a thought with them.
Yeah.
Like, you got to choose your words carefully because you know that they'll be easily offended. Like, they don't want to, you know what I mean, think through. They don't want to think critically, or it's just like a virtue signal. And if you give an opposite signal, then it's like,
yeah, and
we're done.
You're constantly having to feel yourself out. It makes for bad conversation, man.
Yeah.
It makes for bad conversation where, and I know we never got to this point, and it's something that I really wanted to get to, because the conversations, you and I had talked about this before, the conversations that we've had in different parking lots, specifically this one that we're in right now.
Shout out Jackson Starbucks, man.
Jackson Starbucks, it was the meetup spot forever, but it never, like, the podcast never got down to that emotional. Like, we would cry in the car, we would talk about our families, deep stuff that just happened to us maybe that day, and I would never leave anything out. For that's what I think about when you say combing through. I never had to like soften anything for you. I never had to not give you a piece of the information, which obviously just makes for like an emotional conversation, because you're actually getting to talk about what actually happened.
Yeah. No doubt.
Whereas, yeah, going back to what you're saying is like, if you have to constantly watch what you're saying with someone, you're never going to get down to that emotional level. You're just gonna say what you think that they want to hear, and vice versa. And it's like, dude, why are we even having this conversation?
And that's, how do you feel then about that when it comes to talking to a large audience? Because you're definitely not going to have the chance to comb through everything with them.
Yep.
So, if I'm going to start sharing my thoughts again, like, what advice would you give for me when I'm not talking one-on-one to a friend? I'm just kind of putting myself out there. Like, does that change how much I share?
Yeah.
Like, am I being fake or vulnerable? Like, you know what I mean? How would you go about it?
I think that you are going to, like, I think that there is a feeling you'll get, like, in that moment when you get 500 views, 1,000 views, you know, once you know 10,000 people are listening, once you know if ever you get 100,000 views, that's gonna change your emotion on it. That's
For
gonna
sure.
change how you. Inevitably, dude, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel weird about it,
Yeah.
and you now in today's world, specifically, I think on TikTok is like that's very possible where 100,000 people will listen to a short 15-second clip. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna know how you're gonna feel. You're just gonna have like we never got there, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. You know, we were testing the waters, but if you ever get there, and you're consistent with it, I think you're only gonna know how that feels for you, specifically for you. I think we've seen big names feel that way. You know, we know how Joe Rogan deals with it. He's got one of the biggest audiences in the world. Theo Vaughn seems like he's not doing well having to deal with it. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's still doing a great job at the podcast.
But just behind
But
the scenes,
him getting bigger, him talking to Trump, I think all that stuff really messed him up on a level where he was like, I almost don't want to do this anymore. That's how it felt.
yeah, no, definitely. I think because it's so subjective.
Yep.
It's whether people like it or not, and then you take something subjective and you make it your income. You make it. You know what I mean? You're reading comments. You make it such a big part of your life, and that's why I think you're onto something too when you talk about numbers. Because when I am just testing the waters and I'm just ranting, that's one thing. But once there's a certain amount of numbers and numbers and money starts getting attached to it, then it's like, well, maybe I should tone this down. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Sponsorship, and then the sponsorship's like, hey, we don't want you talking. Like, are
Yeah.
you gonna take that spot? Like, so that stuff comes with fame, and if you're so lucky, or I don't know how you would feel about it, but I think a lot of people would look at it as luck. When you finally do hit that one thing that a lot of people resonate with, and then they watched it and you see how many views are on there, and you're just like, wow, a lot of people resonated with this. Maybe you might not even know why they resonated with it, right? You're like, why this clip? This is so random. Who knows why? You read the comments to try to get a feel for it. That makes you feel some type of way. Again, you're not gonna know how you feel about all these things until you're there.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's why, to me, it's important to understand why I'm doing it going in, because I think, like, I haven't really thought much about like numbers, like views, or will I be able to make it an income stream? Like, that would be cool, but I think it's just so many things going on right now that feel so pressing and feel so urgent that it almost feels like I'm almost doing a disservice if I don't talk about it, because I feel passionately about it, and I know that it's important and it affects people that I know, and I'm not gonna call them one by one and, for example, say like, hey, do you know that the markets are looking really shaky and this might happen in the next 3 years, or hey, did you hear about this like foreign government thing that might affect our jobs here, or did you know that AI is going to take all these jobs? Like, bro, people don't know about, like, and on one hand I feel like maybe I'm absorbing too much and becoming stressed, but on another hand it feels like I'm absorbing real information that is going to affect people. And so there's obviously some people who are comfortable with ignorance, and there's other people who wish they knew and they don't even know that they want to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's like multiple sides to it. There's people who understand that these things will eventually be in like regular life, but all you can really do is focus on the things that you have. And most people, I think, are doing that, because we've talked about the way that people live their lives, right? Most people live their lives, they're so engulfed in their own life that they don't, it's not that they're choosing to not see the things that are going on around them. There's so many things that are going on around them that when you are really just living your life, there's no time to think about those things.
No, it's true.
There's no time. But meanwhile, the world is changing at a crazier rate than ever before around you. And next thing you know, the minute you do glance at the stuff, you're like, wait a second, I'm left behind. And I feel like that's what people are feeling today. It's
For
like
sure.
the minute that they do pay attention, it's that anxiety of, oh dang, I am being left behind. Robots, this, AI, that.
Yeah,
Dude,
World
what are
War
we
III
supposed to
this.
do? What is a person supposed to do except just try to feed their family
Yeah.
and or just focus, like, you know what? F it, bro. I'm just going to play video games and let it all, like
Yeah,
wherever this goes,
Wash by me, yeah.
like
For
then
sure.
do that, because not just because it's easier, but some people cannot handle the anxiety that it brings. And I
Yeah.
feel that, and I understand
sure.
that, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it makes it kind of does make my heart race a little.
Yeah, there's definitely times when I'm going through YouTube and I'm like, okay, no more economics, no more global politics, no more conspiracy theories. I gotta just watch something light. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so then I think, for me, as someone who wants to add value, how do I not be that video that's like, okay, no more drama, no more, I don't want to hear reports on, I just want something light. And unfortunately, I mean, I kind of wish, because for me, I do feel a need to put my thoughts out there, but it's as much for me as it is for anyone who might watch it. And so in that sense, I wish I felt like my passion or my interest was more about light things, so I could just, but unfortunately, it's these things that like wobble around in the back of my head that make me think, I wonder if other people think about this. It's those things that deep, and it's not always even bad. Sometimes it's just deep.
Yeah. It sucks.
All right, let's land the plane here.
Okay, yeah. I
But-
remember you used to say that.
Oh yeah, let's land the plane.
Let's land the plane here.
Yeah, no, but yeah, man. So definitely, I feel that this is as much for me as it is for whoever might watch. But speaking of making content, bro, I'm gonna spring this on you. No pressure.
Yeah.
But are we gonna get more coffee content at any point?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that the fan base that I created, or not created, but just received, there's too much work that I put into it that obviously I don't want to lose, but it does make me happy to go back. Like, I look back at old videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got better through time. I have about 75 to 80 videos that I posted, short clips. But, I was creating fan base. I really enjoyed it. The editing part wasn't my favorite, but, there's always going to be a piece of something. There's always going to be work.
For sure.
Right? And it's never just going to be all fun. So, I will be back. The shoulder, I need surgery on it. There was debilitating pain that I had, right? And so I feel like now I definitely am using it as an excuse to just not, like, I could do something, right? I could post something.
Yeah.
And
That's very self-aware of you.
yeah, man, but at the same, like, it's one of those things where I have to rip off the Band-Aid. Like, I feel like I've been gone for so long. It's like, oh, out of nowhere, you're just gonna post some content. Like, get out of here. Yeah, no, that's exactly how it's gonna have to happen.
Yeah.
But I want to come back to it, and I think that you starting to post content as well, it's gonna make me really happy to be able to see your face. And whatever you talk about, obviously, I might even disagree with you. I'm gonna post in those comments, bro.
Yeah, man,
You
get
better
at me.
look out for Jesus Loves Coffee, because you know, I mean, you know, we'll fight in the comment section.
Yeah.
If you even read the comments.
I will.
Okay.
I don't think I always hear famous people say that I don't read the comments.
Yeah.
But and you're getting like 10 views in one comment, bro.
Truth.
Ain't no way you're not gonna read the
Come
comments.
on now. Yeah.
If I'm getting 20 comments, there's no way I'm not gonna read the comments.
Yeah.
Once your comments start having bots and like weirdos and stuff, like you've made it. But I think in the beginning, that's not really a.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't imagine no one hating on me and I'm not even knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the haters don't come until you're successful.
Truth. That's so true. Yeah, man. So look out for my content. Jesus loves coffee, and then what's your channel gonna be called? Do you even know?
Yeah, I do.
What is it?
I haven't said it on camera yet though, which is interesting.
Oh,
But
not bad.
you know what's crazy? I have all the socials made. Like I have a TikTok and an Instagram and a YouTube channel and a Twitch, and it's all under that name. It's just sitting there.
Oh,
tucked
okay.
away.
So are you so obviously when you post this, it's going on to there, but
Yeah.
you're gonna do some sort of intro yourself or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
First shot, back shot, back shot.
Well, thanks for having me as I think your first guest, right?
Yep.
Yo.
You
what's
already
good?
know.
Hey.
Had to, man. And in the Jackson Starbucks parking lot.
In the Jacksons, which
That was full circle.
you know what, man? I don't think this couldn't. Yeah, we didn't really plan this.
No,
Super
very
hardcore.
impromptu.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So,
was.
man, I'm excited, brother. I'm
I'm-
excited to hear more.
I'm
Next time I
excited
have
too.
you on, we'll have to get into all the things, bro. Politics and economics, faith, and
Yeah.
everything, bro.
I might be in a sling, so.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna zoom you from your bedside, bro.
Oh yeah, I'm
gonna
gonna
be
be
like,
out for like a couple of weeks.
In the background.
It's not gonna be that bad.
You're all Darth Vader, hooked up to all the machines.
I am scared of getting surgery though.
No, it's
I'm
you're
scared,
gonna do
man.
great. You're gonna do great.
I know, but
Your body you've kept it in such a way that it's still good at healing itself. You know what I mean?
yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I do have that, and I think about that too. So, yeah, if you want to talk to me when I have a sling or like I'm, a little bit after surgery, I'm down for that. But
Let's do it.
I'm excited to see all the episodes you post, all the, the content you post like individually, and I want to see what your background looks like too. I
Have
want
you
to
seen
see
it? I never FaceTimed you from in front of it.
Well, it's what you're gonna use all the time
Yeah.
for the content. Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
you'll see it. It'll probably be in this intro.
All right, sweet.
But man, I love you, man.
All right, I love
Thank you for
too.
joining me.
Yes. I love you too, man.
Gang gang.